If you're a PC gamer like me, you hate launchers. And one of the nice things about playing on a console is typically you don't have to worry about that. Now, you do have to log into some services occasionally. Fortnite is a very good example of this. In that case, you're taking your progress, saving it to their servers, and then you can carry that data across the cloud, so to speak, cross-platform progression, cross-play, etc. Uplay, I think, does this really, really well. Not so much with the cross-play, but more with signing into your service and tracking your progression, and then giving you routine updates on how you're playing against your friends, against other people, against the game as a whole. No surprise here on my channel, I have been talking a lot about Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The more I play it, the more I love it. I continue to find and do amazing things. So I have really focused primarily on the side stuff, not doing any of the main mission, going off and exploring the island, collecting all the blueprints, collecting all of the caches scattered across the map, grinding out my battle pass progression. And tonight I felt like I really wanted to focus more on the story. So I did. And pretty cool story event just happened for me revolving Jay Skell. I don't think that's much of a spoiler. It's probably the third mission you do in the game. But anyways, story pops up. I get an achievement. I've done something cool. I log off because it's time to go live my life outside of PlayStation 4 the game streaming. And I get an email about 20 minutes ago. And it says, "You just completed a rescue. Ghost, your mission is not over yet." So that's a couple days on Aura. You've evacuated the homesteaders and met an important ally. Now you have to track down a new lead, which is right where I'm at in the story. And it pops up here and it shows you at a glance some of your game stats. These are some of the major villains that live out there in the world. This very similar to what they did with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you have a network of lieutenants and captains and such as you work your way up to the big bad himself, Cole Walker. And it shows that, as you can see, all my progress, not very good. Everybody's still alive and well. I've played for almost 18 hours. I've killed over 1,200 enemies, and I've beaten 7% of the story. And then there's a link here that says, "For your eyes only." But we're going to go ahead and show it for everybody's eyes. And what this actually pulls up here is my Ubisoft account, which I had to sign into when I got the game on my PlayStation 4. And here you can see my Ubisoft profile here. And same stats again, character 1, because it's the first save file. Shows my gear score, my level, how I'm doing across the various classes. It was a little bit delayed. I did hit level 10 on Panther before I signed off, but that's okay. And it breaks down to PvE and PvP stats. I have not even touched PvP yet. I will get into it later on. But it's cool because it's tracking my stats. And again, this isn't unique to this game. I remember doing this on Battlefield 3, I don't know what, 8 years ago, whenever that game came out. You go to Battlefield stats. You could see how many shots you fired per round, your percentage of damage shots, how many times you revived, how many times you were killed, etc. And that's what this game tracks. It's just really cool to see a single-player game that is using that always-on connectivity for something kind of neat if you're a little bit of stat whoring yourself to kind of see where you fall in line and how you play. So you could see here that you could run through some of my stuff and you could see how many kills I've gotten based on close quarter combat or stealth or explosives or, what style do I play? What do I prefer? Headshots, long range kills, whatever. And then you can see a little bit here, slightly difference between the email and this. Percentage of how much the game I've completed, how much of the world I've discovered, which this stat in of itself, this 4.59%, blows my mind. I've spent probably 16 to 17 hours walking just across the map looking for every single weapon cache just in the first area, the Fen Bog. I'm still not done. So the fact that I've only completed 4.5% of the game is just ridiculously stupid. How many bivouacs I've unlocked, that sort of thing. And it's really, really kind of cool that they include this information in the game, and I like this. As I mentioned, this is not unique to Ghost Recon. This is not unique to Ubisoft. This is across the board. But the fact that Ubisoft is sending emails, which you can turn on or off, kind of showing a update of where you are in the world at that time, is a cool way to bring you back into the world. And I mean, I just got done playing. I've been sitting around, just relaxing. Just got done taking care of the dog. This email pops up, and I'm like, oh, I want to get back and play some more. So for once, I have to say that this always on, this always connected thing can be used in a really cool way when you get these kind of customized emails letting you know what your progress is and kind of bringing you back into the experience. You could disable all this stuff if you don't like it. You could say it's an invasion, it's annoying, why can't it be offline only? Why do I have to be bothered by this? Well, this is one of those, I am sure they are doing some sort of metric tracking in the background, and I am sure that the next promotional sale for me will be based on, my particular play style. I'm sure that's how all this metadata works. And just like when you're on a website looking at something and then the advertisement pops up 2 hours later on a totally different website, I'm sure Ubisoft is tracking this data as well. But it also kind of gives them some feedback to see my particular play style, and I have to believe that they're taking all this data, kind of compiling it into their databases for the next iteration of Ghost Recon, for the next game coming down the pipe, and they could say, well, players prefer this style versus this style, whatever, maybe we should be more inclusive of that. So the always-on environment isn't necessarily a bad thing. Signing into a service isn't always necessarily a bad thing. I think a lot of us would still prefer to be offline because when the servers go down, you can still continue to play. But that said, it's just something that's kind of cool, and I thought I'd do a video on it because I love Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I want to continue supporting the game, and I think that this is a neat way to show your friends and show everybody else online, how you're doing in the environment. So with that, I'd like to close out this video. Let me know, comment below. What I'm curious from you guys is other games you see that have this system as well. I have gotten this occasionally from Bethesda, and I've gotten this, I think I got it one time from PUBG. I never got it again, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe they discontinued it. But are there any games that you would like to see that include this? Would you like to see a weekly report of kind of where you were at, or emails, telling you you've done something really major, or, some sort of positive affirmation to bring you back into the game? So with that, I'm going to go watch Walking Dead. Hope you guys have a great night. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.